Hi guys, it's UDT Viper here. Welcome to the second half of my Nex Duo guide. Today I'm going to talk about the responsibilities of the tanker when you're duoing Nex. The major part of this job is just to make sure that the person that's going to be using the Steel Titan does not take a lot of damage and has Nex attacking themselves the majority of the time. So once again for this, I strongly recommend full Pernix with at least an Elysian Sigil. We both have Divines, which makes it a lot nicer, a lot easier. So we pot up going together. We actually, after watching Darden's live stream of him duoing and trioing Nex, we've been using the spot for the smoke phase right here. And this was actually one of the first times we were trying it, and it works out very nicely. So I'd like to thank Darden for showing us that spot in the live stream. I hardly ever tank, just because we've gotten really used to koldor tanking and me using the Titan. So I'm quite a bit rusty on this, which is why when we get close to the end of the kill, I'm really low on supplies. One thing we do to help force tank is I use Swift gloves, or the tanker uses Swift gloves to help keep the defense a little bit lower and ensure that Nex will be on the tanker the majority of the kill. Another thing you don't want to do is forget dread nips like I did. It just makes the person who's using the steel type makes their job a little bit harder. If you have dread nips, you can both attack the same Reaver, use a dread nip on that Reaver, and then the Steel Titan can single-handedly easily take down the other Reaver. I've sped this up because if you guys are doing, you should have a good knowledge of how to fight Nex, and this isn't that much different from a normal Nex kill. This is the lure spot we use while the attacker kills Umbra, as you take very little damage, as long as you don't click on your yak like I did right there. As a tanker, I try to take 2 teletabs, one for me and then one for my attacker once the kill is finished. We normally wait to start blood until she's finished praying as well. We find that we do a little more damage if we're not. Attacking with melee. We bring a Torva full helm switch, which is nice because it doesn't reduce your life points. So if you're brewed over full health and you switch, or if you helm switch to class spec, you don't lose those life points that you just brewed up. Makes it a little bit inconvenience on Zaros phase to still force tank. One of the things that we do sometimes is equip a Ring of Wealth for the tanker early instead of the Onyx Eye, as Ring of Wealth has no stats. Right there I get Nex on me and then drag her back to the center just to get her in better position for us. One thing that really bothers me when I'm in 4-man teams is when we lure Nex and have her in that position right there and someone tags her early or moves her out of position. So one thing to try to do is always right click if you're not sure, as well as if you're the person that's lured Nex while your team is killing Umbra, when they say T or tag, they don't mean to actually tag Nex to start blood. It's just to get Nex into this position right here where she is, and then wait for your whole team to get over to the entrance to tag her. The reason for this is when you tag Nex to move into blood, she summers Reavers and Siphons right there, first thing. So if you don't have your team getting a chance to tag those Reavers, she's going to heal up on that second Siphon, which hurts your overall effort and increases the time you're going to spend on blood. Another thing to watch out for is the tanker is almost always going to be the one stuck in the prison. Just be ready after the icicles come down from the contain. Be ready to run over and free whoever it is that's encased. One thing that happened is I was duoing today, and I brought a royal crossbow to test it out on Zaros because I loved it before the update. After the update, I was worried about the deflect damage. After doing a lot of teams, a lot of people were saying that you could still use it, you just had to attack Nex right after you switched when she was deflecting range. If you got your next weapon out and attacked her once, you wouldn't get hit with deflect. So I did this today, and I got hit with 300s in a row of deflect damage while I was attacking her with my CLS with melee, and I was super confused, and it ended up KOing me, and I was pretty frustrated. So I would just like to say that if you're using a royal crossbow, be really careful, as it KO'd me, and I thought if you attack with melee, you're fine. So just watch out. I'll try to do some more tests on that and tell you guys what I find out. Alright, we're getting close to the end. The Zaros phase is pretty easy. Just same thing as always, try to keep Nex on you and off your partner. Whether that be equipping Ring of Wealth or just using those Swift Gut Loves to make sure that she's on you. As it's a team effort, the tanker's going to take a lot more of the damage and use a lot more bruise, but you split the drops anyway. And if you're worried about like inconsistent costs, like if you don't want to spend a lot of money on bruise while the other person is always the attacker, try to switch off or something. If you both have a Steel Titan, it's normally not a problem. Alright guys, well that's my Nex Duo guide, and I hope you liked it. Give me a thumbs up or a subscribe. I'll see you guys soon.